Let's all be wizards and fly around in the sky. Let's all be wizards, immortal, we could never die. Let's cast some spells with all of our dear friends. Let's all be wizards, the magic it would never end. And we'll fly so high in the sky. Fly so high in the sky. Fly so high in the sky. Right into the night.
All right, let's see. Hello and welcome to Let's Just Be Wizards, a bi-weekly podcast that delves into the dark arts in order to answer the age-old question, can I be a wizard? I'm your host, Adam Hilton, and to my left hand is...
I'm Max Lehman. I'm a plant mage.
And to his left hand is...
I am Drew Cox, the wizard.
All right. That was nice and snappy this time, guys. Good job. All right. Through the course of this podcast, we will attempt to enchant sticks, talk to dead people, conjure holy guardian angels, and everything else under the moon. So strap in for the show that will transform your old badminton rackets into magical talismans. This week on Wizards, we bippity boppity boop your mom and discuss the wizardly art of wands. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I wonder
But
where
first,
this is
let's
going.
look at this week in wizardry. Ba-da-da-da.
All right. Well, back in the news is this nation's capital. Let's start once again. Looks like the Washington Wizards are going to have a rough go of it moving forward after it was announced that star forward Jan Mahimi is going to...
Wait a second. Is this about magic wizards?
No, they appear to be a basketball team in Washington. Washington D.C.
A magic basketball
I'm
team.
assuming that yes, what with all the connections Washington D.C. has to the occult, they naturally called their professional team the Wizards. However, it looked like they're going to have to wave their wands goodbye to this season because their main guy is going to be out for the next 6 weeks, and they probably just should have.
I think Magic Johnson was a wizard for a while.
No,
That would make sense.
That would make sense. He was magic,
And then it
after
all rubbed off, and you
Okay.
know what happened.
All right. Well, in other news, let's go down to Boca Raton, Florida, where all the crazy news comes from, as we are aware of. So, a satanic pentagram display has been repeatedly vandalized. Now, the 10-foot-tall black and red emblem of our Dark Lord and Master's power was erected next to a holiday display, as part of a holiday display, in a free expression zone in a park. And as far as I know, anything that is below aggravated dick waggling, as Florida, I believe that Florida law says right there, is allowed in free expression zones. And the locals are expressing their...
That's not going to stop them from waggling their dicks in Florida.
Well, no, that's not... No,
Does that have anything to do with the Baphomet statue somewhere else in the South?
There was no Baphomet statue. It was about a 10-foot tall metal pentagram that was red and black on the base. And the locals have taken to expressing their displeasure for this in acts of vandalism, from doing everything from painting it even blacker, trying to cover it up with a cross, doing yoga next to it.
Hey.
Then eventually someone just hauled off and ran it over with a truck.
You think that the yoga was trying to
They might have
deflect
just been
the
having. They
Satanism?
might have just been having a yoga
I think
class
they were
next to it.
accidentally giving it more power.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what it seems like to me because.
That's funny.
Well, after someone ran it over with a truck, everyone was like, "Hey, we were fine with all this other vandalism, but our kids play in this park, and even if we didn't like the Satan pentagram, we really don't like people messing up the grass and
Or
doing
the playground
We
equipment.
don't-
and
we
fucking
don't
running
mind,
around by the playground equipment."
We don't mind Disney connotations
yeah,
and Catholicism
But
and all that.
I dug a little bit further into this, and turns out no one really liked this thing. Not even the guy who made it.
Really?
Yeah, Preston Smith was not a Satanist, was not satanic, not demonic. He was a... He seems to be a bored atheist who thought it would just freak out a bunch of normos if he put a satanic emblem next to a nativity scene. So, good work, hipster. Mission accomplished.
They didn't know the difference. How would they?
And but this is like what you're saying about the Baphomet statue, Max, is that people have been putting up satanic stuff next to Christian stuff to
Like
remind
Ten
people,
Commandments,
hey,
yeah.
if you can put your thing up, I can put the opposite thing of yours up.
When really, I think it would be more sincere, and this is what bothered me, it would be more sincere if someone who actually believed this stuff was saying, here I am, here we are. Let's jump right into our next piece here.
Okay.
Let's go to Tacoma, Washington, where an actual satanic church said, hey, here we are. Time to punch back. We're going to start a nice after-school program for the kids. So, normal stuff, arts and crafts, story time, I guess Harry Potter role play. I don't know, whatever.
But this is a satanic after-school program?
This is a satanic after-school program, which was started by the Satanic Church of Seattle. It's in Tacoma, Washington, at an elementary school who has, basically there are state laws in Washington that says any group who wants to use the space has to be allowed to use the space. So this group, I guess, just who is sick of all the Christians being able to say, like, we pretty much took over the rec center for all time, forever.
Yeah, right.
Which they did. Said, no, we're going to do our own after-school program, and hopefully you'll see that Satanism isn't bad.
We're going to have healthy snacks.
We're going to have healthy snacks. We're going to do arts and crafts. Going to have all the same stuff as a normal after-school program, except it's run by Satanists. So far, it has gained more protesters than it has participants.
How many, do you know by chance how many kids are signed up?
20.
Does it say? It's a good healthy number.
And the protesters and outcry has been steadily doubling that amount.
So like
hence
Kurt
it began.
Oh yeah.
Hence it began with 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Kurt Cobain's kid's kid goes.
Yes, Kurt Cobain kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that one's nice because it's a good story about, like, this is kind of how I've been looking at it, where you say, like, oh, I'm demonic, and then people go like, they freak out, but then you're like, no, it ain't like that. We just picked a different class, and it's about time that this class starts getting some wins up on the scoreboard. So let's, so far, there are over a dozen more satanic organizations who are going to be organizing after-school programs for kids in over a dozen cities across the United States, including Sacramento.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Bringing it
so
home.
coming to a elementary school near us will be a satanic after-school program, rumored.
Okay, I'm saying... I hope it's for Phoebe Hearst. That was
that'd be really good. Yeah,
perhaps a future guest
right
in the wings.
Mm-hmm.
I picture like out in South Sac. I picture some a real underprivileged neighborhood getting this one.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. This is my thing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be judgmental or prejudiced, but I feel like the satanic parts are usually in the more affluent parts where people have time to sit
we're
around.
And time to think of alternative viewpoints on things.
Where all the good,
I do it? Yeah.
Where all the good orgies are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good point. Yeah. I can't.
That we know.
It was
of.
downtown East Sac usually. We know.
They throw down.
Yeah.
For everyone listening who lives in Bangladesh or Vacaville.
Yeah, anywhere between here and there.
East Sac is where we get down.
It's where the get down party's at.
All right. Any more news for us?
No, that's where we're at with the news.
All right. Now let's get on to the topic. First, what is a wand? A wand is a thin, handheld rod made from wood, stone, ivory, or gold if you're fancy. Wands are typically a meter or so in length and can be decorated with jewels or inscriptions. In modern Wicca and ceremonial magic, wands, along with the cup, the sword, and the pentacle, are part of a set of magical tools used for channeling energy. Wands are said to represent the element of air or fire, but earth and water wands aren't uncommon in modern practice. Many scholars believe wands may symbolize the phallus, since everything shaped like a pole must represent a dick, while the wizard's cup is said to represent the vag.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The
A
chalice.
willing receptacle.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. That's what a wand is. Do you guys have anything to add?
As to what is a wand? Is a wizard's staff just a bigger wand?
Yeah, I read about that, and I think that the staff is kind of like that. Like Gandalf would have a staff rather than a...
Wand. Yeah.
But there's not necessarily like a catch-all wand, one that can do all things. You know, you kind of find the appropriate circumstance, and then you make a wand.
That's right. And Max, you have a lot more on this subject because you're covering the history, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm a big history buff, and I got this information gleaned and reworded. Some key information from covenofthegoddess.com, a site teeming with curios, both historical and magical.
Oh.
And on there it said, in simple terms, a wand is a tool used to focus a witch's intent and energy. And this object of supposed fantasy does not necessarily have a scientific answer in history. If you think of history, lots of radiocarbon dating and stuff like that.
Like how alchemy was the basis of chemistry and so forth. Kind of like that.
Something like that.
Wands never proved to have a modern day.
Yeah, equivalent.
analog.
Maybe a tannin.
Are you
Antennas.
sure?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
A
Are you
cane?
sure? What about?
People are like, hey,
About
I can't
card?
walk too good, but this works for that, too.
I finally got my standy. That cane that stands up on its own.
Or
they
I'm
sell
going to
on
use...
late night TV.
Yeah, what about the wand, or the also called baton, in classical music, where they use magic to
Oh,
make
the-
a bunch of
the
people do the
conductor's
same
baton.
song. Yeah.
Yeah. Orchestra conductors use magic wands all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, on to the Egyptians. That's what everyone was waiting
Okay.
for. There are Egyptian wands made of hippo ivory that date back to around 2800 BC, and they were flat semicircles carved with pictures and symbols specifically for the time of birthing in order to turn back evil and to protect the mother and child. And some historians believe the specific shape of the wand is similar to early throwing sticks used to hunt game.
Do you think the nutrition of the hippopotamus in question affects the magic of the wand?
Well, hippos live in water, and so
Well, I think what I'm getting at, would a hungry hippo be more
hungry,
magical
hungry?
than a
I think
than a,
I think
uh,
not. It would have a
than
pretty
one that was,
a pretty
fully
porous
fed?
tusk.
All
Yeah.
right.
You got to starve them a little.
Be a hollow tusk. There'd be nothing
Okay.
in there.
Or if they smoked a lot of crystal meth, it'd be kind of
You could make a
brittle.
pipe out of it.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
and then the fabled wand of Horus was a hollowed cylinder filled with metaphysical stones used for healing. And it said the priests of Horus studied lifetimes to learn the use of these wands, and the priests that used them, they used them to travel the world of the dead.
Well, quick. So this guy's wand was a hollow cylinder with stones
with
inside.
stones in it. Yeah.
So it's like watch. This
Sounds
is magic.
sounds
I
like a
can
cathode
totally
or
get the
anode.
dog to leave me alone. Just like, runs away.
Just shock-
shakes the
shock
can at
collar.
the dog. Yeah.
And then in many Egyptian sculptures, there's two cylinders in a pharaoh's hands, showing that the pharaoh was with Horus. And is
I thought that was the can phone, dude.
the can phone, the
Yeah.
selfie stick.
No, like you got
The
your
modern day selfies. No.
you got your end of the phone. You got your can on your end and the string.
I always thought they were rain sticks or
No.
something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually what they sound like they are from what you're describing. Just tubes with
With rocks,
junks put in them.
beans, and
So
sand.
yeah, it sounds like
Does
they're
the can
rain
phone
sticks.
actually work?
Yeah.
Wow, and you could hear someone from like You could have it
made from
We
grit
could make
and
a whole closed circuit
made from
social network
made
with
from mummy
scabs
scabs
if we
and
wanted to.
yeah.
Yeah.
But just real quick, in German and Celtic cultures, the wand, excuse me, was a symbol of the axis of solstices, and the most known cultural in magic and from today, many traditions were the Celts and Druids. And the thing is, Druidic history is believed to go back farther than 500 BC, and they were shamanic people, healers, judges, counselors,
Oh, wait.
mediators. They performed their duties with magic wands, and they had a very respectful relationship with nature, and a wand that could be made from a tree containing the properties of the reason or purpose for which it was made. So like a birch tree made for healing, or an oak tree made for warding, and that type of stuff. But they believed that there was a life force in a tree called a dryad, or a tree's living spirit, which was linked to the tree but lived in an astral plane.
I heard plants can think.
Like cellular intelligence?
That they could sing if you hook them up to the right to a synthesizer with electrodes. I heard an album on this other podcast called the Unbelievable Podcast. They have an episode called The Secret Life of Plants, and I think that might be in that documentary too, The Secret Life of Plants, where they hook electrodes up to trees and they put those to synthesizers, and like the person will sing, be like, oh, and the plant will go like.
And the plant will let you know if they're tired of classical and want some Grateful
So they
Dead.
were recording. The plants are recording everything.
They could, yeah, no. Eventually,
Essentially, they are.
yeah.
Goes back to the tincture, the gaseous tincture.
And there's a cactus on there where the Japanese woman it hooks it up to like speaking electrodes, so it's like a voice synthesizer, and she starts teaching it the alphabet in Japanese.
Is that
It's
like sand?
Go, and it goes like.
Sand sound patterns. You ever seen those where it makes it?
Yeah,
different?
I've seen the patterns of the sound waves where they put the sand
In the speaker.
on a speaker and it'll vibrate at different tones and it'll make very intricate shapes at different frequencies.
I think
in
if
the
you hook a
sand.
synthesizer up to anything, it might.
Yeah, honestly, I think science has proven that hooking synthesizers up to stuff makes cool stuff happen no
Okay,
matter
I see.
what.
Stuff has its own rate of shaking or frequency. Just I don't know. But back to the Celts and the Druids. After Christianity became more prevalent, wands once associated with the Druids were labeled as evil tools used to transform people into animals and used for shape-shifting.
Wow.
Nice.
And because of such negative connotations, wands were just as feared as their users in the eyes of the church.
I'll turn you into a goon.
I will turn you into a frog.
Yeah. Is that the main thing you do?
You turned him into a goon?
Yeah, well, I threatened to. Then
Well,
the idea is,
I
from
will
what he
turn
said,
you into a
from
goon.
what he said, all you
From
have to
like-
do is brandish it, and
from
you will
like
strike
old-
fear into their hearts.
Old European lore and fairy tales and the whole druid thing, I think, goes hand in hand. Merlin, he could have been a druid.
Yeah.
Could have been one of the last.
Is it the right time frame though? Because Merlin was around in the
King Arthur days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking when the
mean-
actual church became prevalent, and then the Romans.
Yeah, the church was pretty well established by the King Arthur days.
yeah.
Yeah. But on
Sorry to
to
burst
other
your
things,
bubble.
staffs. In modern time, a staff is for most part seen as a walking stick or fighting stick, but in not so recent past, they were seen as tools of great import. And in maybe many tribal cultures, a leader or shaman would carry a decorated staff, and the adornments and markings would identify its owner and the owner's clan. And you can see this in biblical text as well. People carried staffs or,
That turned into snakes.
turned into snakes.
Scared pharaohs.
Yeah.
Scared pharaohs. So
Mhm.
now we're full circle. We're back to the Egyptians. But just one more thing. The Greek caduceus, or the wand of Hermes, is a symbol that
Close.
should be...
Close.
Huh?
You almost got the pronunciation right.
What is it?
I mean, you almost got it right.
I almost got
you
it
can keep
right.
going. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
But-
That's all
but
right.
you
Close
know.
enough, I think,
All right.
is what we're getting at.
Okay. It's a symbol that should be clear in the minds of most people, and it resembles a winged staff entwined with two serpents. And this symbol can be found in Egypt, Mesopotamia, India.
Wait, isn't that the doctor logo?
Yeah, the doctor logo.
Yeah.
Ambulance
I'm getting to
sticker.
that, Andrew. Calm down.
Okay, jeez.
Jeez, yeah, man.
I
And
want
even
you with that wand, man. I don't want you bumping the mic around.
and it said it
I mean staff, sorry.
originated in
He's holding a
Sumer.
large staff.
In Sumer 4,000 years ago, and the meanings of it range from harmony, wealth, prosperity, health, dreams, and obtaining the power of the heavens, and some say it represents the double helix of DNA. But, so, anyways, wands, staffs, they're tools used throughout the ages, as an extension of the witch, who directs energy, and knowing metaphysical qualities of the woods, metals, gems, or what have you, kind of helps you on your quest to becoming a wizard,
To seeking the Holy Grail.
seeking the Holy Grail.
That double helix thing kind of sounded a little ancient aliens-y
Yeah.
to me. I don't know. There's nothing magical about that explanation whatsoever. Now,
It's
Like,
also in
being able to-
Kundalini. It's the same thing with the serpents wrapping around the central
Or the
kundal.
fast
well,
faskies.
I get the imagery's the same, but I'm thinking more like, what if it's just one of those, like, they keep snakes in it to...
I heard it was an ancient bitchin' back
Maybe
tattoo.
it just, maybe it was, just
Well,
an
you know,
ancient
the U.S.
bitchin'
government-
spinal tattoo, man, just
The-
straight down the spine.
The U.S. government actually features in the House and throughout Washington a fascist symbol. Did you know that?
What's that?
That is a Faskies. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm not a linguistics.
It's like the
professor.
original fascist
And
symbol.
it's basically a bundle of sticks with an axe.
You're a bundle of
inside it.
sticks.
You're a subprime mortgage loan.
Who are you calling a bundle of sticks?
Man, I don't know. I'm done. That's it.
What were you gonna say? What was the fascist symbol? Is it?
It's like
Bundle of
it's
sticks
an
with
old
an axe.
Etruscan symbol used for like unity, but it was kind of misconstrued along the way, and brought to this country.
Nationalism.
Nationalism.
We're the best.
We're gonna bundle our asses together and tie it, and we'll have like an axe that we're all humping. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you for that history, Max.
You're welcome.
That was great.
That was really cool.
All right, guys. What does usually I do? What does the Bible have to say about whatever our topic is? I don't know why.
I don't have a Bible.
Yeah,
Well,
so
does
I
that-
changed
do you
it
think
this
that
time.
do you think that has anything to do with your father?
If I had a
Adam?
Bible,
I
I'd
think it has a
just
lot to do with it because I've had a Christian upbringing.
I would just tear out the New Testament, keep the Old. That's what I would do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's nothing good. Jesus didn't have anything positive to say. It's all about the old stuff with the sleeping with your parents.
With the old Cadillacs and the thunder.
Back when Cadillacs had fins and Jesus would talk to you, you know?
Yeah. All right, so I did. What does the great B666 Aleister Crowley have to say about wands?
Oh.
All right, this is from Book 4, Part 2, Magic. Since then, we may want anything. Let us see to it that our will is strong enough to obtain anything we want without loss of time. It is therefore necessary to develop the will to its highest point. Even though the last task but one is the total surrender of this will. Partial surrender of an imperfect will is of no account in magic. The magical will is the wand in your hand by which the great work is accomplished, by which the daughter is not merely set upon the throne of the mother, but assumed into the highest. The magic wand is thus the principal weapon of the magus, and the quote-unquote name of that wand is the magical oath. You guys get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Crowley dude was badass.
Probably know what do.
I'll bet he was a
Do
double
you think we can
diamond.
get him on the show sometime?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'll bet he was a double
Man,
diamond.
he'd be a get.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that'd be a get.
I know. I was thinking we should start having guests on the show.
I mean, if we could get him, but shoot the moon, as they say.
If we can't get Crowley, we could maybe get someone from the Temple of Thelema local chapter.
What did Crowley say again about Two River Towns? I'm trying to remember.
Two Rubber Towns?
Two River Towns.
Two River Towns.
Was that from last time? Or is this a joke I don't understand?
Someone said something about Two River Towns. Never mind.
Crowley had a quote, I think, that Max is trying to recall, that he was hoping maybe we remembered, but I don't know.
That was from our last episode, right?
I've partied away all my memories. So.
All right. I think our last episode that rings a bell. Two River Towns. We're talking about evocation and about. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. Maybe our listeners can email us and let us know.
Give us some feedback and help Max and help me.
Yeah. Help us all out.
But mostly help me.
But mostly Max.
Mostly me.
Are you guys ready for some fun facts you never knew about
Yeah.
wands? All right. Stop me if you
Well,
heard
if I
this
say I
before.
knew it, I'm going to just jump in and go, I knew that already.
Sock it to me.
All
I'm
right.
just going to say I knew that.
You guys aren't going to know these, and our listeners aren't going to know them either, because they're highly classified secrets.
Okay.
A lacrosse stick is colloquially referred to as a wand. Did you guys know that?
I didn't.
Swing your wand
I don't know
around.
what lacrosse is.
Well, that's also...
It was.
God,
used,
we got a lot. I'm guessing it's a
to,
sport.
It was used to beat Bush and get game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another fun fact. Tell me if you know this one. Wooden wands of about 60 inches in length were popular exercise implements during the Victorian era, particularly in the United States and in Canada, being used to perform various flexibility and strengthening routines. You're laughing.
Yes. Disciplining the children were called flexibility. Yes, father is not flexible.
They ended up being good for that.
Yeah.
Yes. But they started out as one of those workout gimmicks. They try and say oh, you can't work out without this foam,
the shake wand.
the shake wand.
The solo wand, the wand flex.
What about those
shake
foam
wand.
bricks that you just use to lean on while you're stretching? Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've used one of those.
It is
actually.
imbued
It was
with
like the yoga ball of its day,
Right.
kind of thing.
Now, what's the difference between that and just a big book you don't read?
My dad would do those stretches with an old phone book when I was.
It only works if you
I've
think
seen
it
him do
works.
that, yeah.
It is fun to buy stuff. I think.
I think that it's nice to have this standardized unit where the guys at the gym all go, what? That's the one we all use. It's people in theater going this is an apple crate. We don't know why we made them this shape or this size, but now all sets will be made out of them. It's just about having it standardized so all the jocks can stretch the same and all the theater kids can build their sets.
And the whole
high school, they're well, we got to start teaching this stuff in high school, so make the rectangles standardized and
the whole web.
Don't worry about it.
It's about engineering insights.
I guess so.
Were
Yeah.
you a techie? I forget.
No, I was a little.
Okay, you were a techie, Max.
Yes.
I was. I once blew too much smoke on the stage.
Oh God, I remember that. That was horrible.
Really awesome
It
when
was.
that happened.
It ruined what
It
play
was
was
Fiddler
it?
on the Roof.
It was Fools.
Oh.
I thought that was Fools. That
Fools,
had the smoke.
yeah. Tremble.
Yes, it was Fools that had
It
the
was.
smoke. It wasn't Fiddler.
Oh God.
Yeah, okay, here's another one for you. In the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the White Witch's most feared tool is her wand, whose magic is capable of turning people into stone.
That's that black ice, isn't it?
Black ice?
It's a black ice wand.
The black guy's wand?
No, black ice. The stuff you shouldn't drive on.
Oh, yes. Road hazard.
Road hazard.
Ah.
That's
The worst.
somehow the same. In the fictional world of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, as necessary tools to channel out each character's magic, the wand in Harry Potter actually chooses the wizard.
Yeah, they went to the wand store and had a big to-do about kind of just, wand waving around the store.
I don't really like that. It's like, okay,
Did,
you're going to be a doctor. You're going
Makes
to be
it
a
easier
policeman.
to choose.
Yeah, like honestly, I went to the movies where you had to pick your seat. Like they have assigned seats at the movies now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like studio.
and the clerk is like, "All right, here's the touch screen. Just pick where you want to sit." And I was just like, "No, I'm not doing this. No, absolutely not. You pick.
Oh, wow.
I'm not doing this. You added an extra step for me that I never asked for. So no, you pick."
Or just give me...
I would way rat like that's like I don't want the movie seat. I don't want to pick the movie
You'd
seat.
rather let them pick for you?
Yeah.
Ugh.
What like there's certain transactions where like I get how we went about doing our wands in a very personal way, and Harry Potter kind of wants to treat it like, oh yeah, just getting on the plane. Here's my boarding pass. This is my wand. This is where I sit. Yeah, certain things I think it works better to have an assignment rather than just go get out there, get a wand.
It's my my personal opinion. Those films were very entertaining, but they took the whole fate thing too far.
To where it's not even...
because Harry Potter is a hero's journey story.
Everyone else
just stretched out over 6 books or whatever.
Neville, he could have invented like a new type of food, but no, he was a plant biologist.
And so he remained for
Yeah,
the rest
remained.
of...
his cutie mark said that's what he was going to do, and that's it.
It makes it a lot easier for people to latch on to characters when they just stay the same
Exactly,
the whole time.
yeah.
Or so I've heard. All right. Gandalf's
they
name...
don't go growing wings or anything.
It's like friends. Your friends are always the same kind of archetypes, and that'll never change for you. If one of them passes away or floats or moves to a different city or something, someone else exactly
like that person is just there waiting.
Yeah. Waiting in the wings. And your life feels a little empty before they come in, but it should be...
I've got so
2
many
months
clones
or so.
wandering around.
Yeah, you're not going to be no loss. You're not going to be out anything.
Mm-hmm. All right. Gandalf... Oh, here's one. Gandalf's name is Northern Manish. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And that's one of Tolkien's invented languages, similar to North Germanic language, for Elf of the Wand. That's what Gandalf's name means.
Okay.
Was he also called Mithrandir, but only by what's her face? Right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I messed that up. Okay, Gandalf's name in Northern Manish, which is one of the language, means Elf of the Wand. So Gandalf, Elf of the Wand.
Elf of the Wand.
Even though he carries a staff, like Andrew brought with him today.
Yes, I brought my wizard staff with me today.
Well, we were just doing it on wands, so I didn't.
You told me not to bring this.
You can't-
Actually,
I told you bring headphones and not
and
the staff.
don't you bring that staff.
You can't be a
You
mage
brought the
and a
staff.
priest.
No
and I didn't bring the
headphones.
headphones. Yeah.
You can't be a mage class and a priest class. You gotta
Yes,
pick
I
one.
can. I disagree.
What, like put the
No.
put the wand in
That's
the
not
staff.
how I understood
You're
the
gonna put
rules.
the wand.
That wasn't my understanding of the rules.
You're gonna put the wand in your
my
staff. Huh?
my understanding of the rules was I could do both.
Okay. So, guys, want to hear some tips? So, what we all did is we went out and made our own wands. And before we get to that, I want to read you some tips from this book I got from the library. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd love to
did
hear
not
that.
look this up online, guys. I went to a library and I checked out a book.
No,
and it's-
no scholastic mark, so this is some kind of black
Holy
market
shit, that is a
material.
library book with a barcode on it and
Oh, yeah.
everything. That is like he's holding a library book.
It's a library book.
This is The Witch's Wand by Alfarian.
Wait, is that
Gwydion
the guy who ran
McClear.
for president in the forward?
Huh, the guy who ran for president? That
Yeah,
was
the boothead guy?
you mean the wizard guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It says Alfarian Gwydion McClear is the druidical name of Dr. James Mayturn.
Different guy.
Mertens, a master wand maker, wizard, and writer.
Druid.
So, yeah, he wrote this whole 248-page book on making wands and
Nice.
using wands and what they're for. So I read a little bit of it. So, so he talks about wand crafting, and he actually recommends that you, rather than you purchase one, you make one yourself. That's makes it personal. It makes sense to me. Choosing a branch. Choosing a branch is the first step. I recommend choosing one from a tree with which you have some familiarity. One on your own property or in your... Oh, wait, 1 second.
Well.
So anyways, he talks about choosing your own branch and cutting it. Although cutting a branch from a tree for the purpose of making magic wand is not forbidden, you do have to talk to the tree and ask its permission first. So these are just the tips I used. I don't know if you...
I adhered to these guidelines as well, but not in the way you might think.
I was trimming vines.
Nice.
I didn't use a tree.
All right. Well, here's the other tips he says about attaching crystals and stones. If you wish your wand to incorporate stones and crystals, these should not be affixed until the very end after all the finishing of the wood is done. You want to prepare the sockets for them to fit into, and this requires some patience. I don't know if you guys put some stones or
I
magic
certainly
emblems
did.
on
I
it.
didn't mind strictly plant material and kind of a menacing red poly rope.
Also, he says be careful with dust. You know, when you're rasping and sanding it. When sanding, it's wise to wear a respirator or a mask or filter over your mouth and nose to keep out the dust.
So be sure to follow all the safety rules when using your power tools, and always remember that the most important safety rule is a set of these safety glasses.
Yeah, and mask.
Thank you, Norm.
Yeah, Max. Thank you, Max.
I missed that reference, and he was such a big part of my childhood.
New Yankee.
Yeah, New Yankee Workshop. Yeah,
God, that was a relaxing show.
that was
wasn't
so
it?
I like-
ASMR, dude.
I like the
Like-
Woodwright
and
shop
then next we
too.
will be sure to use a box jig miter saw joint.
Is it just me,
They
or was the
use all this
90s more
expensive
about
Delta
okay.
equipment.
Yeah, I know, the most priciest tools in the world. Like, oh my god.
There's a reason it's the
We're
best.
gonna use our shim maker to sand some.
It's possible
Some
that with only
knuckles.
$40,000 in investment in tools of your own and enough space to
To get lost.
and only 40,000 extra square feet of space.
The 90s were all about do-it-yourself
Yeah,
woodworking, right?
Yeah.
Like, because there's
That's
Bob
when
Vila, too.
HGTV fucking
People had
got
money
big.
for that stuff back then.
Well, Bob Vila, Bob Vila was like a handyman and a host, and he was more of a building historian than he was a master craftsman or carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Norm Abrams was the master carpenter and was the chief builder on this old house.
What about home time?
Bob Vila was kind of like
Oh.
the host, and they're like, I'm going to take you around the job site, and I'm the one who knows all about job sites and restoring old houses because
You guys ever seen Home Time though?
I
It's
remember
like
Home Time
Yeah,
with the-
like they used to
and the-
one up
and the-
each other.
and
Like,
the,
oh,
the, yes,
thank you, Jane. You know,
the anything you can do, I can do better couple.
thank you,
does,
Jane. It's my
does
turn to
these,
talk now.
And the Red Green Show.
And if she doesn't find you handsome, at least she'll find you handy.
At least she'll find you handy.
At least she'll find you.
Get a gravelly voice like that.
Yeah.
But they were, that
Yeah,
one.
Red
And
Maybe
Home
she'll find you a
Improvement.
beer.
That's right. Yeah,
That was
little-
the show to watch. If you were too dumb for Seinfeld like me, then you watched the Home Improvement.
Yeah.
And saw his hands blow up like balloons 'cause he got dust on them.
He was like, make sure you use a respirator when making this
Tim
magic wand.
Tim Allen
then
wrote
he inhales some magic dust on accident, and he's like, his eyes get all light up.
He
and
wrote
like starts
some
talking in demon talk. It was so funny.
He wrote some good books, like the kind that you just keep on the back of the toilet.
Like, don't talk to a naked man while... What was it? Standing in front of a naked man while eating a hot dog.
Just think about it. Imagining Tim Allen's like woody face saying the words kind of helps you like a BM, you know.
Yeah. Don't get arrested before trying to become a family film star.
Don't talk to a naked. Don't talk to a naked man while standing in front.
While eating a hot dog.
Don't proposition hookers at work.
Don't talk to a naked man while standing in front of him naked eating a hot dog.
It was something like that. Okay. So, guys, I think we should all go around and talk about what our special assignment was last week.
Oh.
Okay.
Which was?
To make a wand.
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 Should I go first?
Yeah, let's start with you, Max.
Okay. Well, just brief description of my wand. I got some ivy branches and some rose stems and kind of bundled them together and did a kind of
That's a real bundle of sticks you got there, Max.
Yeah. Real bundle of sticks. That's right.
About how long is it?
It's just kind of to, I don't know, if you think of like the druidic tool to like clear the air and like clear energies, like a bird's wing, you know, that's a tool. That's a magic tool. This is kind of what I was thinking.
It looks like a red rope because this is a audio.
It looks
thing.
like a Great Depression child punishing tool.
How many sticks you got bundled there together?
Well, I got.
Looks like 5.
Got 5. Yeah.
3 green ones, 2 brown ones.
I didn't make it quickly. I took time in choosing, and I removed the thorns.
It's about as long as your arm, I'd say.
About an arm's length.
Yeah,
wand.
exactly,
yeah.
an arm's length.
And so my intention for this wand, though, was to gain knowledge from nature, to not whack a bush or anything, but just kind of wave around outside. All right,
like a helicopter,
like kind of a mage detective. Like, all right, tree, what the hell you seen? What the hell you seen today?
So you interrogate tree spirits with this.
No.
You intimidate the dryads.
You go up to the dryads and you're like,
hey,
I'm not taking any crap from you guys.
Look what
today.
I did with your cousin.
Look, you want to see what's going to happen to your arms?
You want to tell me
next?
anything? You want to tell me
anything?
anything?
You got any news for me? Yeah, you got any news? Or are you just going to, yeah, it's what I thought. You're all the same, yeah.
Did you do anything to like consecrate your wand or imbue it with magic? Or
put a little flaxseed oil on it and let it dry outside at night. So
yeah, it's got night magic in it.
Nice.
Night magic.
Yeah. Have you cast any spells with it or used it? You said you were using it to talk to plants.
Well, I live in Lincoln now, stinking Lincoln. Yeah, and the plants aren't too happy up there, so not much yet. Although a palm tree next door was giving me some vibes, like its owner was ready to commit a murder or something.
Oh.
I don't know.
How you liking Lincoln?
Lincoln's all right. There's a bar there where you can smoke indoors.
That's nice. You hit the old hit Thunder yet?
Mm-hmm.
You go hit Thunder?
I don't go there more than once or twice a year.
Well, maybe we could use our wands to bring us a little bit of Lincoln luck. Yeah.
Get a little
That's the
clove.
Thunder Valley Casino.
I got some clove oil. I'll just like slather that all over myself, and
we'll get big, disgusting, stinky cigars and take them into the casino.
Ruin the felt a little.
Yes, and
just like ruin the felt on the table. A little.
Oh yeah, just. Rub a bunch of grease on your arms and just start leaning on stuff. Yeah, perfect. It's my greasy spell that I leave behind everywhere I go at the casino.
Oh, Adam's digging out the snuff here.
Yeah, this tin that we got
No.
last 2 weeks ago.
I think there's something to this snuff.
Yeah, man. Like I only do it like maybe once, twice a day,
Yeah.
3 times if I'm being honest, and yeah, it does the trick.
Does the job.
I haven't
huh?
been smoking for months, but
I might.
I wanted some vice of some sort.
I might get some, and maybe just do like a patch every other day, and then a little snuff.
Here, you want to do some of mine?
Oh, sure.
Folks, this is original snuff, silver dollar brand.
It's
It
the real
says
deal.
that it might give you mouth cancer, but you're snorting it, so figure
Yeah.
that one
Probably
out.
give you sinus cancer first. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't see
You know,
anything about nasal cancer.
I'm not afraid. As far as I'm concerned, in modern science, everything gives you cancer these days. So.
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of.
It all gives you cancer. None of it's real. Just build a pentagram. It's that kind of attitude, Mags. No, some things are things and other things aren't things. This is probably bad for you, but it's cool.
Oh.
So just be happy
Hey,
that you
show
like
me the
it.
scientific
good-
evidence.
It's
that
good
snuff is
stuff. It
bad
makes
for
your
you.
head feel like a toothbrush.
I like it.
Yeah.
You want
Good. I
some?
don't want any right now.
My head, when I try that, it feels like a toothbrush. You know.
So it's like a toothbrush for your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike a toothbrush, which would never be used on anywhere near your head.
Unless
try
you have
it.
an open head
Try it, and you'll
surgery.
see what I mean.
Or brushing your teeth with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
That's-
Well,
That's bad.
did you name your wand? I'm just curious.
I named mine the Briar Wand. It's made of ivory and
His first name's Briar. Then.
it's ivy, some rose stem, and some menacing looking. I could have used natural cord, but I used what I had.
It looks like
know?
you wrapped up the bundle in
Yeah.
what's that called? Stuff.
Parachute line.
Yeah.
It's just like camping rope.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Bank line,
All
whatever.
right. Awesome. Why don't you
Okay.
talk about your wand?
Well, so your guidelines for wand making said I had to go to a tree and ask it permission. Which, in a sense, I did, because the thrift store from which the implement that I found to construct my wand was called the Family Tree Thrift Store.
Family tree.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Is that any good?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
You handed us this assignment for wands right as we wrapped up the show 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And I was thinking about this, what to make a wand about and what to make a wand out of, and you were telling me about this tree thing, and I was just like, none of this felt right to me. None of this felt like any of the places where I channel my magic from at all. And, within the course of...
You went rogue.
I went rogue, and within the course of these few weeks, I was thinking I'll find some implement to make my wand out of. And about the first week, I remember going to this thrift store, and I was just kind of swinging this badminton racket around the store, and had considered it after that moment. Oh, this feels kind of good, waving it around. If I don't find something better, and it's still here after I've explored some more options, I will come back for it and begin my construction process of wanding. So about another week goes by, and I go back, and right where I left it on the shelf is the badminton racket, which I believe I paid $1.25 for.
Ooh, got hosed there.
Yeah, I might have, but once again had to ask permission from the tree, and the terms of the agreement involved exchange of $1.25.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to invest in these.
Well,
things.
it's one of those things where every
gonna use it for a
every deal
lifetime.
has terms. Every deal has terms. You're not going to go into a deal that
Dollar-
doesn't have some kind of term. They want something from you. You want something from them.
$1.
Hopefully, if it's a good deal, everyone's happy. I don't think they saw the magical potential in this item, which is why I think they let it go cheap.
And Mr. Trump,
But
so that wasn't
anyway,
your own money you
anyway,
spent,
that,
right?
it was.
It was borrowed.
$1.25.
I usually
I wonder-
use OPM whenever I can.
Right, yeah.
Whenever
Oh,
you
you
can
use
use
OPM.
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 Your own personal money?
Other people's money.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Um.
Right.
Anyway,
I wasn't talking about
so-
narcotics.
I I got my newly found badminton racket home after a trip across the street to the Raleighs to get a bottle of ale and a box of incense to set the mood. I returned to my wizardly workshop and set to work constructing my wand. Now it didn't end with the badminton racket. It has the addition of a elastic grip and a magical marble, which has been embedded.
Big marble. What are those called?
A masher, I believe.
A bobble?
Or a slammer.
Or a slammer, yeah.
To use POG terms.
In POG terms, but same thing. And the tip has been carved into an obelisk shape and painted black.
Wow.
The method which I used to construct this was first I used a hand saw to remove the racket part on the top and the most of the handle up to where it begins to taper into the thin part of the racket. Now, this part was tricky carving it into the obelisk shape because
Just like a four-sided.
it's a four-sided pyramid on top.
Yeah, the pointy part.
And what I did was I had mounted into a vise a rasp, and just kind of while holding it at a precise
angle. Did you
angle.
wear the right kind of safety gear?
Face mask and goggles. I always do when I am working in the shop. Shop safety. Like, I cannot stress this enough. I have had eye injuries from even when I was following shop safety. I have had eye injuries. So even when you take all the precautions, you cannot guarantee your safety. So to not take these precautions, and it's kind of tricky to enchant the safety glasses when the wand isn't made first. So magical safety gear, always use it if you have it. If you don't have it yet, regular safety gear should do the trick, but regular safety gear doesn't always do the trick.
Good hobbyist.
Yeah, I take shop safety very seriously. And I did use power tools in the process of this because after I had gotten done...
It's a powerful tool.
Yeah, to make this powerful tool, I did use another powerful tool, which was a drill, to where they said to make sure to use care when drilling out these places to set your magical beads or ornaments. And I did. I in fact had
What's keeping that marble on top of it?
Resin.
It
has been affixed with properly mixed enchanted resin.
Okay.
So that's on there. That's 20,000 pounds resin.
Wow.
That'll withstand. So yes, the end was drilled out so that the marble would sit, not flush with the embedded in there, and it acts as a nice grip. Now this marble I can say it stayed in the exact same place in my garage for maybe 15 to 17 years before I picked it up off of the exposed beam next to my workbench to attach it to this wand. I remember...
So it's had plenty of time to
It has had plenty of time to charge up its magic... Well, I always knew it was a magic marble. It's why it was left where it was to be untouched, because you don't go messing with magic marbles till you need to unlock their powers. You ever see just a tiny marble? You don't know where it came from. It rolled its way here, and it'll roll its way out.
Well, my nephews probably dropped
Maybe, possibly. But you don't know. Those marbles become magic once they are free.
Wow.
So, this magic marble's energy, which had been charging for a while, was attached and channeled into this wand, which started its life as a badminton racket. And I imagine it had a very interesting kind of story in and of itself to get it to me, because as we all know, most badminton rackets are not made out of wood. In our modern day, they are made out of plastic and aluminum or some other...
Unless it's one of the ones from the 70s.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This one here is from the 1960s or early 70s. So it took it hung around this place for a long time.
You think someone played a lot of badminton with it?
I do, because the grip where the hand grip was worn out. It was really worn out. This thing saw some badminton play. Someone who actually wanted to play badminton, hopefully they scored a few whatever.
So the
birdies.
gem,
what do you
birdies.
score in badminton?
Love.
the stone and the rod share something. They were used in games, so that
Very true.
that kind of helps the
They are fused
binding
together
binding
in
of
that
energies.
way. Yeah.
It's a very gamey wand.
Very true. Well,
The gamesman's.
Let the games begin.
Gamesman's channel.
Yeah, so I have to ask, have you performed any sorts of magics with it?
Well, when I first made it, I was just kind of,
Swinging
getting
it
in a
around?
feel for it, just feeling it out, seeing what it could do.
Taking it for a ride. Yep.
Take it around the block a little bit, and I would. It was starting to line some things up. Like I would go, and then I'd hear a thud somewhere else in the house.
Wow.
I was getting some, not anything definitive where I was definitely certain it was me doing it, but there was definitely some correlation going on, some synchronous events with my wanding. Again, though, I did have some things where maybe a few thoughts I had were, did come to a little bit more realized state than they would have had I not been focusing the wand when I was thinking of those things.
Yeah, Crowley says the wand represents the will,
Yeah.
and part of his version of magic is all about finding your true will.
Well, I got a lot more work done on a few little things I wanted to do. I felt like I did a better job on my copy for the podcast today.
Yeah.
I just have felt a lot more focused, on the things I want to do.
Hearing about
I think that Crowley was definitely onto something with that, because after I made the wand, and I was just back into doing things. That thing I was telling you about with the car. I was worried about the car thing.
The car you had to
Took care of the.
disassemble.
No, this is a different one.
Okay.
The other. This is the second one that they're also getting on my ass about. But that problem, I just I waved the wand and thought about it and got in my car and solved the problem.
Wow.
They're coming to haul the thing away tomorrow.
because
Nice.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Personally, because I pray to Satan every day, and then I got a promotion. I'm like, all right, that's going straight to you, big man.
Right. Yeah. We
Nice.
get material things.
That is thanks to you and some of my own diligent work, But you inspired me. It's your victory,
Yeah.
But the story though of how you made that wand kind of inspires me to try something like that. I didn't even think of getting an old already used material. I thought of just going straight to the forest,
Well, you had a forest nearby. You live up in the damn hills. I don't trust
This-
I don't trust landscape architecture to give me an honest answer about anything.
Yeah.
Urban landscape architecture is gonna have some magical. Those are some jaded ass trees.
Maybe
they got
I'll
grown in
maybe I'll
cities.
go to Forest
So
Hill, find some
judgy.
cedar
Well-
or something.
Yeah.
I got my. I'm a city wizard. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just one of those city wizards.
All right.
So
Well,
Adam, let's hear about your magical
Yeah.
work.
All right, guys, check this out.
Wow.
It's a very brightly blue wand. Would you say bright blue or
Kind of a cobalt,
Very
dark.
kind of a cobalt blue.
Yeah, and it's
dark
got
cobalt.
now. If you guys look very closely, I kind of obscured this by
Oh.
the spray paint I used, but at the end of it there is a crystalline.
Is that a
geode.
quartz?
It looks
It's
like a
geode.
merc-
It's
Oh,
a
nice.
purple geode.
like a Merkaba.
Are you sure that's
almost.
not a amethyst?
Is that what it's called? Where you
Yes.
break a rock open?
No,
and-
it's a geode.
That's
It's a
amazing.
geode stone. Because I
Okay.
broke the geode up and I got a little crystal out of it and
A
I
little-
fixed it to the end of this wand.
Little
Yes,
node.
the purple amethyst. That is awesome.
Yeah, so this
Awesome.
wand, what I did was I read in that book, that you got to go out and ask a tree, and it said it could be in your front yard or backyard, which is very convenient for me. I didn't have to go somewhere special, just my front yard. And I went up to the tree, and I was just like, hey, I'm going to pull this off and make a wand out of it. While I was touching the tree, I said this, and then it's like, and I'm doing it. And then I yanked it off, and I think the tree was like, okay, but do something good with it.
It felt right, basically.
Was that the vibe you got from the tree?
Yeah, I felt the tree saying, just don't mess this up.
Okay.
Like, you can do it, but you better do it right. Hopefully I did. And then I just pulled all the twigs off it. It said in the book that I was reading, Witch's Wand, that the length of the wand should be from your elbow to your fingertip. Now, this is just this guy's opinion, okay? I know I didn't even tell you guys, the stuff that I read in the book about, except I told Andrew that try getting it from a tree or something, but then you said your idea, and I was like, oh, that's cool too, I think.
And I technically followed that instruction.
Yeah, from a tree in your neighborhood.
I didn't-
Tree in my
thrift
neighborhood.
store.
I'm the
Yeah.
only guy with like no stones in mine. I'm gonna keep trying this.
Yeah?
I wanna see what I come up with.
Well, this one here kind of smells weird. Did you guys smell it
I can
at
smell
all?
it from here,
smell-
actually.
Yeah, I
it's
used
kind
a
of
lot
It's
of
like enamel.
a lot of enamel went into this piece.
Kind of a mystical enamel.
Yeah, it smells like death.
Mystical enamel.
Yes,
I'm enamored by it.
Playing the colonial, the mystical enamel. Are they playing at the colonial this week? I don't know.
Well, this thing, and then I tied. Okay, so it looks like is a blue stick about a elbow to fingertip length with a geode stone at the end, and then I wrapped some. Basically, I cut up a T-shirt and kind of wrapped it around the grip for the handle. Kind of looks like it's bandaged up, like it got in an accident.
Speaking of T-shirts,
Yeah.
remember when we were at the show and everyone was like, "Are these T-shirts free?"
Oh, we went to.
And then I waved the wand at the T-shirts, and then turns out they were free.
Yeah, that was pretty
Do
crazy.
you think that was maybe wand magic working, or do you think the T-shirts were free the whole time?
Context first for our listeners. We were at a show. Do you remember what the band was? Alarms was the name.
Alarms.
But we went to see our friend's band Bark, and but Alarms was playing that night, and all their t-shirts. I've never heard them. All their T-shirts were of Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, in fact,
Wow.
once again, yeah, we each scored a shirt.
And Andrew made them free with magic. He made that band say, "Oh, our merchandise is worth nothing. Let's give it
That's
away."
right. Yeah, let's make no money at this show for some. We would have given them a couple bucks each
They're not-
for a shirt.
They're
like
not
they
just
didn't-
passing them
like-
out before they leave in the back of their truck.
No, they
just
they
saying-
set up a merch table, like as in the kind you charge money at.
But
Usually,
they had free everything.
but they
free.
just said, "Take it."
free CDs, free
Free tapes,
cassettes,
free stickers, free shirts.
Yeah, they had buttons, I think, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think maybe they were just like, we can't sell all only XL, like they were at that last of them, maybe.
There was a big pile of shirts.
That was it. But
They
that
had
was
all
but they-
sizes.
and they did have larges and XLs and mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had all kinds of sizes.
I
I don't
know.
know, man. Yeah, they're just free.
Yeah, little toddler,
Free magic shirts.
little toddler onesies. And
Junior Crowley shirts.
And panties.
And panties.
panties.
Ladies.
They didn't have those. They just had the shirts. All Gildan brand. This is my wand, and it says here in the book how to consecrate it or imbue it with magic. And I just really put that off, honestly. So to enchant my wand, what I got to do here, it says, it's giving the breath of life. Put the reservoir end of the wand to your lips. That's the pointy part, right? Reservoir end. Okay. Breathe on it gently and whisper, I breathe into you the light, the breath of life. Awaken. With your breath, envision the core of the wand glowing with light as a hot ember would glow if you blew upon it. It's getting hot on my lips. And I enchant into you a core of phoenix feather, or whatever the core is, it says in parentheses. Magnum mysterium, omnium magicum est. And to seal the enchantment, receive the name, the maker of trees has made you a branch of oak, or whatever it is. I, Adam have made you a wand of magic. And,
Well, what's your wand's name?
oh wait, I still gotta say some more stuff. Spirit of this wand, if it be thy will, reveal unto thee thy secret name. Let's see what it says. Elgon. Thou shalt be called Elgon. Go do well, do good work, harm no one. Alright, it's done.
Cool.
Nice.
So your
Got that out
your
of the way.
wand is Elgon?
Yeah,
Mine is wand Nona Rider.
cute.
Mine is
I'll let myself out.
Mine is Briar wand.
It was his bundle of twigs.
You're just
A
what are
briar.
you calling a bundle of sticks?
Alright, yeah. Oh, I just got what that means.
Yes.
You're a nightshade socket.
Yes, now the bundle of sticks. Yeah.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna think we're gonna wrap it up now because people have stuff to do.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Let's Just Be Wizards. Next week, we will have an awesome new topic and wizard activity to cover. If you have a suggestion for the show, be sure to send your emails care of letsjustbewizards@gmail.com or leave your suggestion in the comments section of iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or whatever the heck you're listening to this on. Also, if you have a book or wizardly item you want reviewed on the show, send us an email and we can provide you with the physical address to send it to. As always, I am your host, Adam Hilton.
I'm Max Lehman, reminding you to be safe and with an open mind.
Drew the Wizard. Always remember, shop safety.
And I'd like to end this show with a quote from one of the greatest wizards of the 20th century, Helena Blavatsky. Let me get that quote out here. All right, here's a quote from Helena Blavatsky. It is on the acceptance or rejection of the theory of the unity of all nature in its ultimate essence that mainly rests the belief or unbelief in the existence around us of other conscious beings besides the spirit of the dead. Got that?
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Helena.
peace out.
Let's all